On a warm afternoon in a quiet forest hermitage, two elderly sages prepared a modest meal. These wise men were devout worshippers of Vayu, the wind god. They understood Vayu not as a distant idol, but as Prana, the living breath or life force that sustains the universe. Their rituals were precise, their devotion sincere. Every meal they prepared was first offered to Vayu, a sacred act of reverence for the breath that sustains all living beings. Just as they were beginning to eat, a young Brahmachari, a celibate monk and seeker of truth, arrived with a humble begging bowl in hand. He approached respectfully and asked, "Revered sages, might I receive a small portion of your meal? I am very hungry." The sages, focused on their offering, barely looked up. The first sage said, "We are sorry, young man. This food has been prepared as a sacred offering." The young monk bowed his head but gently continued, "Honored rishis, may I humbly ask, which deity is this offering meant for?" Puzzled, one sage spoke with pride, "We worship Vayu, the great god of wind. He is the very Prana, the breath of life in all creatures." At this, the Brahmachari smiled quietly and said, "I see. If Vayu is Prana pervading the whole universe, then surely that life force is in me as well. Am I not part of the cosmic breath you revere?" He paused, letting the forest stillness absorb his words. The sages, caught off guard by this gentle wisdom, fell silent. The young monk continued, "The food you offer is for Prana, yet I too breathe the breath of life. By denying me a share, you deny Vayu himself, who lives in every heart." Slowly realization dawned on the sages. In their minds, honoring Vayu had been limited to ritual offerings and words. But now they understood that the wind god lived in the very form of this humble seeker. Deeply moved, the sages bowed to the young monk. With deep reverence, they shared their meal with the Brahmachari, not out of charity, but as a sacred act of true worship. This beautiful story teaches that true devotion is born of insight, not mere ceremony. True understanding of divinity means seeing the sacred light in each soul. When we recognize the life force, Prana, in another person, whether sage or seeker, we honor the same divine spark within ourselves. When we share food, kind words, or a helping hand, we are quietly worshipping the divine presence in everyone. In conclusion, the Chandogya Upanishad reminds us that ritual without compassion is empty. The highest worship is love in action, recognizing that each life is a precious manifestation of Brahman. May we all learn from the Brahmachari's simple question and the sage's humble reply. In every living being, from the wandering wind to the hungry monk, the light of the divine is shining. By seeing that light in others and treating them with kindness, we live the true message of the Upanishad.